Tiffany, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
I like this email that you said to me. You said, "Our blog's still a thing, and your dental client hit 130,000 monthly visits in under 2 years. And before you came in, they were at next to nothing. And this is all organic. This is all SEO."
Yeah, they were running ads for a little bit in the beginning. But I think within a year, I think it was a year, 6 months to a year in, their ad manager who was like in the loop was no longer in the loop for some reason. So I don't know what happened with the ads, but yeah.
But so how did you get them to 130,000 monthly visits? So actually, yeah, could you talk about the client? There's like just a random dental office or what?
So this was the very beginning of like running my business. The way I got clients before, maybe unethical, was I was getting a lot through Fiverr and I would just take them off of Fiverr. So I talked to this dentist one time in the 3 years we worked together. I talked to him one time on the phone and that was it.
Where was a dentist?
LA.
Oh, cool.
And
Okay, great.
So,
Awesome.
but
Were you writing the content for the dental office? It was a single office?
yeah,
Or like a chain?
single office. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so we just started with, he wanted more traffic. He was doing some
I'm sorry, what year was this?
The end of 2020, I think, is when I signed him on. Yeah. I want to say December 2020. Yeah. And so basically I was just 4 blogs per month, so 1 blog per week. And yeah, just did that consistently for I'm trying to remember like what we hit the first like 6 months to a year. It wasn't that exciting, like maybe got to 1,000 monthly website visits, like actual clicks, not just like impressions or anything like that. In the first 6 months, which is good. Like it's a local office. So you don't need 130,000 people on your website. It just ended up happening that way. But yeah, it was just 1 blog per week. And sometimes, it would be like, oh, I would pre-write 4 blogs and schedule them out, or I would just publish them all at once. Like it wasn't necessarily like a super strict cadence. It was just by the end of the year, they had like 48 to 52 blogs.
Oh, wow. So there was 48 to 52 blog posts published in a year.
Yeah.
And what was it about? What were the posts like? Can you give examples?
So one that really took off was it's always cost related. The ones who if it says something about price, those were always doing so well for my clients. They still do. They still get traffic.
Like what would an example be?
The example is how much is a dentist without insurance? I think was the big one. Yeah. Obviously not everybody who read that article or was interested was in their area. But still one of the bigger ones. A lot about, sometimes it was like celebrity, like they did cosmetic or they do cosmetic dentistry. So, celebrities who use Invisalign, what are teeth gems? That was a big trend around like 2021, 2022. That one did really well. So just kind of all over the place, but he really wanted to be known for cosmetic dentistry. So those are the ones we focused on a lot and the ones that did well.
This method of marketing is so effective, I had to make sure it wasn't against Google's rules before I kept doing it. It's a form of SEO I call compact keywords. Whereas most SEO focuses on putting up articles to answer questions how, what, when, compact keywords focuses on putting up dozens of pages that sell to searchers who are actually looking to buy. These pages rank on Google and convert so much better than normal that when I discovered this years ago, I couldn't believe this was allowed. It's less work too. The average compact keywords page is only 415 words. Compact Keywords is a 13-hour deep course on getting sales with SEO. A customer recently said, "Each lesson is dense with information. You're giving years worth of experience boiled down into 15 to 30-minute lessons with no filler or fluff. I feel like I'm gaining a new superpower." Compact Keywords is about setting up an SEO funnel that brings you sales for years and years and years. It works with AI, It's less work than traditional SEO, and it makes way more money. You can get it now at compactkeywords.com. Back to the podcast. You got to 1,000 clicks a month within the first 6 months. How did you get to 130,000 clicks a month? How do you go from 1,000 clicks a month to 130,000 clicks a month in then a year and a half after that?
Honestly, like I was surprised it even happened. But I really didn't change that much. Like I didn't even do a backlink strategy or anything like that. But they were getting backlinks organically because obviously they were showing up in search results. No crazy like backlinks, like nothing from anything super high caliber that I'm aware of, but they were getting some from websites here and there. But literally, like, I mean, this was in the very beginning of me like taking on clients and really becoming like known as like the SEO girl, like in my industry and stuff like that. And I really didn't know what I was supposed to be keeping track of or like how, like the plan wasn't to grow to 130,000. It was just to get him clients for cosmetic dentistry, be known locally. But I just did the same thing for years. It was just 4 blogs a week or 4 blogs a month or 1 per week.
How much?
Go ahead.
That's cool. 1 per week. How much did this actually help with sales?
So on the back end, I could see their they had like a form sign up, like an inquire now new patient form sign up. And I know they had like a 12.8% conversion rate from visitors to that page to people actually like putting in their information.
That's interesting. Sounds like because they're so local.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like they needed some sort of offer to that wasn't local. Like if there was some product that they could sell.
See, I always bring that up too because I'll have local clients a lot. Like I've had a lawn care company. I got a what did he do? Oh my gosh, where they home inspector, and he got to 10,000 monthly clicks on his website, and I'm like, where can we expand here? Like, what do you want to do with this traffic? Because yes, it's great that you have the traffic, but like, let's do something with it. He ended up not doing anything because he's on his own. So he's like, there's only so much I can do, but that's always at the top of my mind where like, what can we do with this traffic?
Have you changed your strategy since then? Like, have you started going after different types of keywords, maybe like more qualified keywords or anything? Or are you still like, let's get as many blog readers as we can? Yeah.
No, I mean, yes, I have changed my strategy. So I do what I call like plotting out their season. So like, I always think of it like a TV show. You want one blog to go to the next kind of organically.
Oh,
but
that's interesting.
Yeah.
How does so it's like a TV show where it's like you get to the end of the show and you gotta watch the next episode to see what happens.
Yeah. And I
you
mean,
and you're doing that with your blogs.
Yeah, because you want people
Cool.
to like binge consume your blogs and the content. And so a little trick that it doesn't necessarily have to be like the call to action at the very end, like read this next blog. A little trick I picked up because I used to write blogs, articles, I don't know what you call them, for a pop culture website called Screen Rant. Like comic
Really?
book
Oh, that's
culture.
cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
did
know
that.
Screen Rant.
Yeah, that was honestly how I was able to leave my job. I was writing 20,000 words a week. It was insane.
Oh my gosh.
But so a trick I picked up from them is you'll probably notice now, but the articles like above the H2 headings, they always put related in all caps and bold it with the name of like a relevant blog article, not necessarily written by me, but obviously I wanted more readers. So like try to put my own blogs in there. So I've always done that for all my clients so that one, it breaks up the text so you can see like, oh, a related topic, like, am I interested? And that's how you get people to like open up more and more tabs to binge read the content.
That is a cool idea.
Yeah.
Especially for people who take like their, I mean, interlinking, but like, cause the thing is in standard blog interlinking, you have to find a way to fit the content in there. Mm-hmm. But this, you don't have to go through the trouble of actually being like, okay, how do I relate this article, which is pretty interesting, to this? Mm-hmm. like in a way that's organic to this current blog post. And this, you just think of the most appealing title that you can for the anchor text, say related, and it's right there above the H2. That's cool. Has doing that affected have you seen that affect SEO in a negative way, or it's only been positive?
It's only been positive for me. Like, honestly, I feel like I didn't approach, other than doing basic keyword research, which, to answer your question earlier, I do start with like local keywords first for my local clients. Like, those are the first batch that I'll write, and then I might branch out to more important ones. But yeah, what I always did that always seemed to work was keyword research, breaking up the text, so those related, basic stuff, because people skim. And then internal and external linking.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because, oh my gosh, I see so many like new SEOs or even people who have been in the game for a while who just make crazy block paragraphs.
Oh, yeah.
And I see this and I'm thinking, what are you doing? How is this happening?
Yeah. Honestly, even if you just think about, like, if you use ChatGPT, the way ChatGPT delivers information, like bullet point, like, don't do that. But the reason they break it up in bullet points or like one line at a time sometimes is because they know people have no attention span. But I always say, like, I don't know if it was the same for you, but I know back in school, like high school or whatever age you learn this, that paragraphs are 3 to 7 sentences. In the online world, paragraphs are 1 to 3 sentences because people, one, you just want to catch people's eyes, like visually. Like, that's why you also put things in, like, you have your headings, that's for SEO, like H2s, H3s. Having the related links catches their eye because it's all caps, at least where it says related. And then you would bold that whole thing. And that'll get them to binge read. And then in terms of like paragraphs, again, keep your paragraphs like 1 to 3 sentences. Use bullet points like sparingly, like when it makes sense. And then I like to use kind of speech, because I know a lot of people aren't reading the full blog, but I try to inject like voice in there as much as I can. Like my long client, I wanted him to have like dad humor because that's how he is. So that's how I would start the blog. I call this kind of like SEO storytelling, where you inject a little bit of your own personality, because people don't want the whole, my grandma made this recipe in 1944. Like, nobody cares, so but just
Let me
a
ask you
little
this,
bit.
because I also could see like newbies taking that too far and then having there be a ton of fluff that nobody wants, like you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you balance between having a unique voice, which is important?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to feel like you are reading AI. Like, if you wanted an AI answer, you could just go to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So how do you balance between having a unique voice and not having too much fluff?
I really just go for like speech patterns. Like, I try to emphasize that. So, I like to use parentheses a lot, like as an aside, like, here's a little second thought that I have. And usually that's on its own line. It'll catch their eye enough to where it's like, oh, what is this like weird thing that I have to say about this? And then just like I'll bold certain letters, or I'll use italics to like
Dude,
emphasize,
you'll bold certain letters.
or I'm sorry, words.
Where it's okay. Like, what is going on? Wow, that's aggressive.
It's like a whole Taylor Swift thing where you have to read all the bold letters to figure out what the secret
And
is.
the other, it's all a word when you put it together.
Yeah.
That's kind of an interesting idea, though. It's a fun way to put in Easter eggs.
Honestly, that probably would be so fun.
Yeah.
That's an idea somebody should take off with that.
And then what you do is at the bottom, if you made it this far, all the bold letters are an Easter egg for you.
And then they'll stay on the page longer, so it increases
Yeah.
your bounce rate.
It
Interesting.
decreases the bounce rate. Now
Decreases, yeah.
yeah. Or they just what it would really do is it would increase brand affinity. The fun little things like that.
Yes. And that's really what it is. It's like the affinity of it. Like, yes, a lot of people are searching for things, Googling things that are like informational keywords. So they're just looking for information, which is why people hate the whole, I just want the recipe. I don't want to know about your grandma's back history. So just making it a little fun, like just throw in your voice, like say something you would say out loud to a friend. I also like to do what I call one sentence storytelling, where you just inject something that you like. Like I wrote a blog the other day. I think it was about like where keywords go, or it was about TikTok SEO. I think it was a
Oh,
blog about,
interesting.
yeah, it was a blog I wrote about TikTok SEO. And I used an example of like, oh, I'm going to a Papa Roach concert later, but if I were to film a TikTok video and I wanted people to find it, here's the hashtags I would use and the keyword. Or so
Mm.
like now people know like, oh, I'm a Papa Roach fan. Like, so and that creates kind of that little bond to where they might remember you because if they also like that thing, or maybe they just enjoy concerts, then again, the affinity, like the storytelling aspect, it's very subtle, but hopefully gets people to remember you more.
How do you treat specifically the opening of a blog? So let's say it could either be above the fold if the heading image is small enough, so like before people start scrolling, or just like like right at the beginning, the first couple of paragraphs. Are you putting in a personal story, or are you giving the answer right there?
I have been testing out both over the last year, especially because the rule with if you want to get quoted by AI or of any sort like Google, ChatGPT, it's to answer the question right away. But they can also read your whole blog, and if like let's say how to do TikTok SEO is the title. Ideally, yes, the first paragraph you would just kind of vaguely answer like you're going to do A, B, and C. The rest of the blog explains it. But
That's great.
because yeah,
Yeah.
but I do like the storytelling aspect. So I do a little bit of both. Sometimes I'll do like one sentence where it makes them think like the way I use it in my head is if people talk about hooks and everything. So if the first sentence makes them think, okay, and like, why I don't care about what you just said, if it's basically a fact, like, oh, I learned how to do TikTok SEO this year. Okay, and like nobody cares about that. So you have to say something that'll make them think like, okay, what? Like, have them have a follow-up question. So that would be the hook for the rest of the blog. And so I mix it up. Sometimes I do the storytelling in the first couple sentences, but I pretty much inject it throughout the whole thing. Or I'll answer it right away, or I'll find a spot in the blog where I use the H2 heading as the target keyword and answer it right away under the H2 heading. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's interesting. One of my favorite threads from Reddit. It's the SEO subreddit, and it's this guy. He put up this post. He said, "I started putting TLDRs, too long didn't reads at the. Have you seen this?
No, but go ahead. I'm curious.
Yeah, so he started putting TLDRs at the top of his blog posts. So for his articles, he gives a just quick like 1 to 2 sentence or 1 to 3 sentence TLDR, giving the main points right away. If it's a
Mhm.
product page, does it right at the top of the product page. And his conversions, what do people care about conversions? His conversions increased 33%. And I like it's look, we live in like you were talking about TikTok. We live in the time of TikTok and Instagram Reels. People have short attention spans. They want their answers immediately.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I what I am curious about is so how are you using these like very informational blog posts to I guess to convert people in the future, like because if someone just goes to your site and they get an answer and then they leave, that doesn't really do that much for you. So
Right.
how are you making the most of these visits? Maybe
So
you just have like ad revenue or like
no, most of them ideally is to I personally like my strategy, if it's not a direct conversion, um, I mean, I guess step one is to get them to binge read the content. That's why I kind of do it like a TV show. I never want them to feel like that sounds awful. But to be fair, you can't explain one topic in one blog. Like there always is going to be a follow-up question. That's why even ChatGPT is like, do you want me to talk about this next? So you never fully answer the question. So ideally, step one is get them to binge read it to trust you more, like your blog and your content. Same thing with like TikTok videos. You want to do the same thing, like create an open loop essentially. But that would be, you know, priority number one, besides I guess the traffic. But If it's not a direct conversion, if for informational keywords, which is usually not, I like to get them on an email list of some sort, just because email list conversion rates are astronomical, like a lot easier. So it just depends on the client. Even if it's for local clients, it's a little bit different because a lot of people will just pick up the phone and call. So I always make sure to have a phone number for the local blog clients. So yeah, it would either be just brand recognition, because traffic really doesn't mean anything if it doesn't convert, but brand recognition through reading multiple articles, getting on an email list, or direct conversion, ideally.
It's an interesting idea to, I'm not sure if this is what you're doing exactly, but like, I feel like it could work, which is you give the answer, the full answer, or like as much of it as you can, that in a short way, just right away, immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And then below that, like you have some sort of call to action with a phone number or an email address. And then you give the rest of the article. And it's like when you give the call to action, it's like a half sentence thing, so short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Get a free consultation, call this number. Get a free, like, let's say if it's a dentist question, get a free dentistry consultation with this phone number. And then you give the rest. It's an interesting thought.
I started for some of my clients, depending on like which platform they have, it's easier if it's WordPress, but because you can like pre-format the blogs, but I do like a button, which I don't know. I feel like the button seems more salesy, if that makes sense. Versus
it does seem more salesy.
Yeah.
A button you would expect on a sales page, not on a blog post.
Yeah.
So I could see like a sentence and it's like literally like it's half a sentence.
Yeah.
That's like, like honestly, like get your question answered by one of our dentists. Call this number.
I usually have my call to action at the end, but putting it in the very beginning makes so much sense. I should start doing that.
Because if you're giving the answer right away, the full answer, then it's like, oh, I got my answer. Oh, but I did have this like remaining lingering question. Oh, here's a phone number. And I could have it explained more in detail by a real human or something like something you have to figure out what the offer is. But it's or like maybe there's an email list that talks specifically about this topic. And it's like,
well, I'll always
interesting.
You think of the mindset they're in, which I'm always thinking.
Yeah, the mindset.
Yeah. People who are searching informational keywords, in my head, they're DIYers. They're like, I'm going to figure this out on my own. Even if it's like, oh, like one article that did well for my dentist client was something about, having a cavity causing headaches. It had something to do with headaches and teeth pain. So obviously it would be like, here's your options if that's happening, but ideally go to the dentist. But I feel like in my head, I'm thinking they're not going to go to the dentist. That's why they're Googling this instead of calling the dentist.
You got to think about the intent.
Yeah. But the call to action at the end. So again, I'll if I can, depending on the website, I'll make the call to action a little bit bigger. I'll also put like the phone number, the call to action in bold. But in the beginning, I'll say something like, sick of being in pain, call us and we'll figure it out. Or, for my lawn care client, they also did pest control. So it would be something like sick, if you don't want to get, let's talk about, lawn care. Do you want to keep your fingernails clean? Call us, like something like that,
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was a big pain point.
Yeah. Well, so their primary target audience is like women in an affluent neighborhood. Like the women are the one who called for the lawn care. So I'm like, they probably don't want to deal with it. Like, so, just thinking about who the ideal client is as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I really want to try this. Give the answer right away. And then like above the first, it would probably be above the first H2. Kind of like it would look like they're related and it would be like some sort of half sentence call to action.
I like that.
That is extremely related to whoever your ideal searcher, like whoever the searcher you imagine to be is.
Yeah.
I want to try that. Because so few people make it all the way to the end. But like, because here's the thing, if you give someone the answer right away, they are going to be so happy with you. They're going to be so happy. And it's like
True.
you just gave them exactly what they wanted, and now like here's a call to action. Like yeah, I don't know. There's like so many reasons to try it. So now I'm
Might
like
as
really
well.
hyped to try this.
Yeah.
So are you are manually writing tons of SEO content every week?
I only take on, like, I only have my set clients. I kind of actually moved away from blog writing just because I've been doing it for 7 years, but it was a couple years ago. What I had noticed was a lot of people, will get the traffic perfect. The call to action is to go to a sales page or their services page, and it's horribly written. And so I started doing more website copywriting because I felt like that needed to be locked in more so than the blogs, because blog traffic's great. But if your like your sales copywriting on your homepage, your services page, or even your about page, if that's not doing its job, then the conversion might not happen. So, and also you can target commercial transactional keywords that way. And I always say, like, people who are Googling dentist near me are ready to spend money, so you might as well get those money pages set up first anyway.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That I want to talk about that, and I want to hear your copywriting tips. Also, I do like your approach to storytelling, because it's a unique approach within the SEO world. Like, use storytelling within your SEO copy,
Yeah.
and I like those like unique creative approaches. I want to, but I'm curious, as someone who has been doing like SEO copywriting for clients for so long, how have you seen, like, how has AI changed your life, your job? Has it made it harder? Because everyone's like, I can just use ChatGPT. Has it actually made you more efficient, made you better? Do you have like AI? Do you have SEO copywriting tricks using ChatGPT prompts that you always use? Yeah.
Um, I always use ChatGPT to write my meta descriptions because they're so boring to me. And it's literally just, write 155 character meta description, including spaces, using this keyword. Like, it's a simple prompt. And also Google sometimes will just show whatever they want to show for the meta description. So
All the time, yeah.
something I do like to do, so like the whole storytelling aspect is, I'll get on a call with my clients. I use Google Meet, so it does the transcripts and everything. I'll upload that to ChatGPT and ask it to give me what are some common phrases or like cadences that my client uses so that I can use it when I'm writing the blogs. So
That's cool.
if they say
That's
something like,
cool.
yeah, like my lawn care client uses like pop culture references a lot. So, like, which ones does he use the most? Or, he gets very excited sometimes. So I use more exclamation marks versus like another client. He also does the dad joke. So I throw those in there. So that's a fun way to add. It's not really, I think when people think storytelling, they think, let me tell you this journey. But really,
Beginning, middle, and end. Yeah.
yeah, but like really storytelling is just about connection. So even if you could just be like, oh, I really like Papa Roach, or, I used to write for Screen Rant, so I'm clearly a nerd. Like, like I love Marvel and DC and all of that. That's the story that creates the connection that people are going to like choose you over the next person just because you had one thing in common besides like social proof and all that.
Authenticity is really, really underrated,
Mhm.
especially today when there's so much AI out there, and so many people are inauthentic with like hyped up IG profiles where people are living like this life. People are setting unreal expectations, living this life that nobody can live, and with so much just garbage AI content. Like, authenticity is a premium. Everybody is saying it.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. But putting in like these little phrases, especially having like ChatGPT identify them, or
Mhm.
identifying like strange patterns of speech, I love that.
Yeah. It's and that's the thing too. I think a lot of people, especially business owners, like I like to say, you're a business owner, not a content creator. A lot of people don't want to make TikToks or reels or anything because they're like, I have a whole business to run, which is also where SEO comes in. You don't have to do it as much. But also, yeah, people don't want to be that vulnerable about themselves personally. I always call myself a closed book. Like, I don't normally open up or anything. So doing that one sentence storytelling is an easy way for like introverts or business owners who don't want their whole life online to inject a little bit of themselves into their content, to where people might just be like, oh, I like that joke that they made. Like, it creates that connection once you get their attention through SEO.
I wonder if it could even be like I try to look at everything really objectively. I wonder if this would be better or worse for industries like medicine or like law, for example. But I feel like it would be better because, like, I mean, I've hired lawyers before, and my favorite lawyers are obviously very qualified. Like, they sound very qualified, they're very knowledgeable, but they're also very approachable.
Yes.
And having language like this, same with doctors. No one wants to go to a doctor who's like crazy uptight and stodgy. You want a doctor who feels approachable. And like, I could imagine putting language like this, like storytelling language, as you call it, could actually, I could see that increasing conversions and being like, you make yourself approachable. That is so cool.
I forgot. In the blogs, like, I don't put as many pictures as I used to in blogs unless it's relevant. Like, from writing from Screen Rant, it was like, oh, put one image under each H2 heading just for like whatever reason. And but what I like to do now, and again, maybe I should put it towards the top, but like the last H2 heading, when it's like basically the whole call to action, I would put like a picture of my client. Like my lawn care client has a selfie with all his employees in front of their van. And I would always use that one because I want people to see them. They're also just taking a selfie. It's not like a professional photo shoot or anything. And I just think that's fun too, to include.
I'm loving this. I'm like, because I know that there are going to be listeners who like, they're just writing all, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do that. Like, this is great. What else do you do? This is awesome.
I mean, basically, like, I think people think it, oh, I have to do this keyword research and then write a blog. And, some people are like, I'm not a writer, I'm not a blogger. And it's like, you could also, if you wanted to use AI, but whenever I get writer's block, and I actually do this with my clients too, because I have them fill out, I call it your business book, but I have them fill out some information. And I'm like, if you're not a writer and you're more of like a yapper and you want to talk, I have instructions on how you can use like a Google Doc to like voice talk whatever you need to answer. But same thing with the blog, like, just talk it out on your phone. If you want to use ChatGPT to clean it up, you can. It depends. I would recommend like outlining the blog with the keywords first and then doing that. But yeah, just break up the text. Think of people in their limited attention spans. Bold sentences that are important. Include selfies or like one sentence storytelling. But yeah.
Selfies and pictures of yourselves in your blog posts. That is because people do that, I guess, with the author picture, but I suppose it feels different to have something there at the end that's bigger, that's more casual. Because like, what is an author profile picture? It's like it's usually overly polished. It's not like casual, and it's like it also just like having, because the author profile picture is not going to be like you and your entire team. It's just going to be like you, and seeing like you and your entire team is, like you described, is something very different.
Yeah. And you think about how people consume content on social media, especially, when video content became so huge in the last like 5 to 10 years. I think a lot of people do want to see like the behind the scenes, the unpolished version. So like, another thing I like to do, I started doing a TLDR at the bottom. I like the idea at the top though. I always like to, not always, but sometimes I'll put in video content, especially if I can convince my clients. Cause I used to do blogs and social media until I decided I hated managing social media. But I would tell them like, oh, let's make this video that's like, one of the secondary keywords we're targeting. And we'll target it on like TikTok or Instagram and then embed it in there. And usually video content helps blogs rank anyway, or you'll get people on your social media, which isn't always a win, but yeah, that's like I'll have them do a TLDR in video form of the entire blog or a section of the blog. And I'll inject that in there too. That way also they can see your face and things like that.
Targeting, you said a related keyword, but not the exact keyword.
It depends. I've done both, but I'm trying to think of an example. I actually worked with a breath coach for years. So talking about what is a breath coach. So that was a blog she showed up for years. She might still show up for it. And then we made a Instagram video that was a shortened version of the blog. And then embedded that in there. So it did target the same keyword, but if it were like a secondary keyword might be, do I need, a breath coach, or what is breath work, or like something that would be an H2 heading, then that would be an option to create piece of video content out of.
How are you, because it sounds like you've written about a very diverse range of topics. So how are you learning enough to write good content, like knowledgeable content?
My first clients in the very beginning were always something like dental lawyers, a lot of people in the, like, honestly, it was always like your money, your life topics, which is the hardest to rank for. Finance related. I'm really, really big on research. So they would take a lot of time, like too much time for what I was charging at the time. So I don't necessarily try to become an expert, but sometimes I'll ask for my clients' opinions, but it's really not their job to, like, I mean, I would like to have their input more, but a lot of my blog clients are just, they just care about the outcome. They don't care.
Yeah, they want the results.
Yeah, they don't care about, I'll be like, here's the content calendar, here are the keywords we're targeting, and the secondary ones. I don't even think my clients look. I don't even know if they read the blogs I write.
That's crazy.
I have very trusting clients.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
oh my gosh,
results, so they stick with me for years. But now I have like my core clients, and then I like to work on like website copy, SEO, obviously website copy. Like one client.
How are you doing your research? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. For like the blogs and stuff.
Yeah. Again, because you're writing in such a diverse range of topics.
I guess.
Do you ever like call people to get answers?
No, I don't. Oh. No, I just research.
I'm imagining like investigative journalism. Like,
no, I will. Okay, so I guess my first step is I'll pick a keyword, and then I'll read like the first 3 blogs or whatever, even videos sometimes, and see what they're saying that I could say differently, that I could add on to. And if there's something they mention in the article, I don't know what it is, then I'm thinking, okay, well, my clients' readers also won't know what that is. So I make sure to include an explanation of something I didn't know into their blog post. So their readers are going to be me, like, who don't know about long hair or breath work or, loss.
So you're very easily able to write from the perspective of the searcher.
Right, because I have no idea. I'm not the expert. So anything.
That's cool though.
Yeah. And then sometimes I'll look at usually not YouTube videos because they're too long, but I'll go on social media, like, or I'll check TikTok is usually where I go because their SEO is superior to Instagram SEO. But and I'll look at the comments, or I'll go on Reddit. Reddit is a huge one, actually. And I'll look for people's answers and follow-up questions and make sure to include those in the blog.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that you're sourcing from Reddit like that.
Reddit's become, honestly, sometimes because people type in, Reddit at the end of their search because they want human perspectives. They don't want AI.
They want short perspectives and human perspectives. Yeah. Yes.
That's why, like, so another thing I'll do, I'm getting off topic now, but yes, I'll go to Reddit. Sometimes I'll link the Reddit post. Actually, I do that a lot now because I assumed it would help with the ranking. So if Google's already automatically including Reddit as like one of the top search results for a lot of searches. So sometimes I'll link one of the Reddit threads that comes up.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know
Wow.
if it helps, but it hasn't hurt so far, I don't think. But also I know people want Reddit perspective. So I'm like, okay, so an example is I did a review for Flowdesk, which is the email platform I use. It shows up when you Google Flowdesk review or Flowdesk. And I included Reddit in that blog post because I know people want besides my perspective. I'm like, well, here's what other people are saying. So.
That's brilliant. That's really smart.
Yeah. But another thing I do in terms of actually getting the click, just switching out if you're like, how to do Instagram SEO, somebody's Googling that. My blog, which I think if you Google Instagram SEO, my blog comes up. I think it might be a variation of that keyword, but I put, here's how I do Instagram SEO to get my reels on Google or something like that. I can't remember what. It was probably shorter than that, but I do it from my perspective. So instead of how to, I'll do how I, or here's what I learned, or here's what I did, so that people know it's like a human perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
First person. Do you think do you find TikTok SEO to be different from Instagram SEO?
I think it works a lot better in the traditional sense of like how like traditional SEO works in Google and everything versus Instagram. Maybe it's just because I don't use Instagram that much, but I really feel like their SEO is just subpar, to put it nicely.
Instagram.
Yeah. I don't know. So many people, no offense to them, but a lot of like social media gurus is probably not the right one to use, but let's use it. Will tell people to keyword stuff, or they're like, you just want to use keywords like content strategy. And I'm like, that's a super competitive keyword.
That's a terrible idea. No, what I say is take your keyword, put it at the beginning of your Instagram post, and then take the whole transcript from your post and put that in the description. And that's what I do. So I take my transcripts from my videos, and then like if I'm targeting a keyword goes at the beginning of the description in some way. It's obviously natural. And then I literally just take the exact transcript and put it, sometimes I'll like format it a little bit or make it so it reads well. And then, that's the description for the video. And I get really, really great rankings on all of my content.
Oh, that's interesting. I do it the hard way where I just rethink about everything I said in the video and rewrite it out, which transcript would be a lot easier. Good.
Yeah, because I edit. I mean, it depends on how you edit. Like I edit in a tool called Descript, so I'm literally just able to copy the transcript from Descript. Yeah.
I did hear somebody recently say that Descript is better than, I want to say like CapCut or something. And I'm like, okay, like I've not used Descript for, well, occasionally I'll throw in a video to get the transcript. I didn't even think about using it for short form videos though. That's brilliant.
Yeah, funny enough, I've never used CapCut. I don't know, maybe CapCut's similar and you can use like desktop and you can just copy you can do the same thing. I'm not sure. I've never used CapCut.
I've only used it on my phone and I'm not a huge fan. I used another one for a long time. I also haven't created video content like all year this year, so I'm really rusty. Yeah.
Okay. I do it. I do it daily. Yeah. And so that's what I do. And Descript is great because it removes all the gaps between words automatically. So you can kind of just go on a rant, remove all the gaps between words, and then edit the transcript instead of the video. So it's like, oh yeah, I said this in my rant. I got to take that out, remove that. You just delete it. It's like the transcript. It's like editing a blog post.
I love that. I just filmed a video for something unrelated to like SEO or anything. I'm doing side quest 100 days of rejection therapy is what it's called, where basically you ask for something, and I posted it on Threads and people loved it.
Wait, what is this? This is super interesting.
I can't remember how I came.
Rejection therapy?
Basically,
so you get rejected every day?
You're trying to get it. People also say like they're collecting no's. Basically just ask. And I'm not like a stranger to asking for stuff. Like last year, I think it was, I'm in the pop culture world. I have a whole other blog for that. I've interviewed celebrities. I emailed Tom Hiddleston, who plays Loki in Marvel. His manager, had a great chat with him because I was trying to get an interview with Tom Hiddleston because he was at a convention I was going to. Didn't end up happening, but that kind of stuff doesn't freak me out. But I don't think outside the box, I guess. So I'm like, let me try to get some more no's consistently. Anyway, I posted about that and people on Threads really liked it. So I'm like, shoot, now I got to document this, which could be fun. So I'm like trying to figure out, do I do TikTok or Substack or whatever? But I made a video right before this call just to like document my first no that I got yesterday and what my next one is going to be. And I ranted because I usually like over edit like what I say before I say it. So like talking like this is a little harder. So I like that Descript you can take out all the fluff basically.
Yeah. It's there's I've noticed so many interesting things with it. Like if I say the word "and," usually that indicates a topic change, and that gives people an excuse to swipe up and go to the next video. So like natural speaking, you might say the word "and" a lot. I just delete it from the transcript. I don't have the word "and." I try. Yeah, I like there's another word I can't remember, but like "and" is a big one. Like I feel like if you say "and," a lot of the time it actually can decrease views. So like there are these like little things, but just removing gaps between words like and then it puts the transcript over your video, and you can fix it, you can correct the transcript really easily. You can choose the caption style, like all sorts of things. Descript has been a game changer.
I would manually go into, so I'm actually repurposing. I did a series called WTF is SEO on TikTok, like in 2022. So before TikTok really had SEO, I'm re-uploading it with SEO to see if it performs better. And I will manually go in and read the whole transcript that it automatically generates and fix it. I'm going to use Descript now.
So I've made social videos for 1,150 days in a row now. I haven't missed a day. I started November 1st, 2022. Wow. And I started by just making videos in the TikTok app. And I did that for maybe 10 months. And then I tried Descript. I think I had heard about it. Like I have a rule, when I hear about something twice is usually when I try it. And it's not like a rule. It's just kind of something that happens. It's like, okay, you're like the second person to tell me this. Like I should take this seriously. And so I heard about Descript another time. I gave it a try, and it was like my views shot up. It became so much easier to make good content. And this is someone who is going from the TikTok app, who was making videos in the TikTok app every day. And it became so much easier to make stuff that was quality with Descript. This podcast is edited in Descript. Like all of my videos are made with Descript now. I'm such a big fan.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard of it, but I haven't explored it. That's incredible. Do you prefer, like, I think we talked on Instagram first and Threads. So I saw your Instagram.
It was Threads. I'm like everyone, like the holidays, people are quote unquote taking off. But there's more people home looking for content to consume. So there's more people looking for content with like less competition because creators are quote unquote creators or business people, whatever, quote unquote taking off. And this drives me crazy. And I'm like, how do people want to postpone coming on the podcast until after the holidays? Like, what are you thinking? And you messaged me on Threads. You're like, I'll come on the podcast. And I looked at your stuff. I'm like, this is interesting. Storytelling and SEO. I want to learn more.
Yeah. I genuinely, it seems like every year I go like, I'm ready for like to start the new year in December, like to get ahead of the curve. Every year I like December is like my time to shine. Like I just put out as much as I can. I get organized, but I like the rejection therapy I'm doing. Everybody that's commenting right now, which maybe that's why it's done. It has like 700 likes, but I mean, nothing.
I mean, I think it's just like when you said that, my eyes lit up. I don't know. Like, I'm just like, what? I've never heard that.
The topic probably, but also nobody's posting right now. So, and people are scrolling because they're at home doing whatever. And, yeah, I wonder if, if that's why it did really well. Is because nobody is posting right now, but also, yeah.
You know what I bet? I think the subject matter is just so interesting, but I bet you could adapt it for any industry that you're in. Like 100 no's in SEO, like 100 no's trying to get like SEO clients, for example. Like, especially for like service people or something like, or like, like 100 mistakes in, I don't know, like we're talking about lawn care, learning by mistakes. I'm going to make 100 mistakes over the next 100 days in order to tell you what not to do.
Okay. So that's another thing that I talk about, like to go back to blogs, is because blogs can be, it's like the only type of content that can be edited after the fact, like fully. So I'm running this challenge in January called Blogging is Back, because people are kind of sick of social media. And it's like a free thing where I'm like, just publish one blog every Monday. But the rule that I'm going to try to make for everybody is you have to publish it, whether it's ready or not. Like, just get it done. Like, get it done imperfectly. You can go back and add links, like internal links, external links, graphics, all this stuff. Like, it won't rank right away anyway. So just go back and edit it. Just the act of getting it done and published, hopefully will get people in the habit of doing it more often. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to.
I've been doing that for the last 3 years, every Monday. Because what I do is my newsletter goes out on Sunday, and then like I write for the newsletter.
Yeah.
And so the newsletter goes out Sunday, and then I'm like, well, I already wrote all of this content, and it's really good stuff, and it's my unique voice. And like, what do I want my blog to be? My unique voice. I'm not trying to have like a crazy SEO blog. And so, oh my God, it just started pouring outside. There's all that. I got distracted because there's like all this white noise, and it's just because it's pouring, crazy pouring. It's so loud. So I got distracted. But yeah, so I take the newsletters, and then the next day they're on my blog on edwardstrom.com/articles. And then I write about SEO, social media, paid media, miscellaneous stuff. And I have them sorted into different topics.
Yeah.
And I've done that for 3 years. And honestly, like the blog, I see people's activity on my site, and like I just see them going from post to post to post, binging. Yeah. And then they go and they like buy my course, or they book an expensive call with me, and they email and they say that I changed their life. Sorry. Okay.
That's so sweet though. I love that. Do you keep like screenshots of any like words like that people say to you? Like,
I wanted to start doing, I get, honestly, and I love it. I get one of them a day, 2 of them a day. Yeah. And I think and I respond to all of them, but what I need to do is I need to put them, like, for example, on my newsletter sign up page. Like, I have like just the craziest long list of things that I want to do, and I need to have that. And so actually, a friend messaged me, and he showed me a, those like review carousels where the reviews are kind of going from like side to side to side. Yeah. So he used, I think it was either Claude or Cursor or Anti-Gravity, I don't remember, but you could use any like AI tool to just give you a very simple, like simple code that's mostly HTML, completely readable, of a review carousel. So you literally dump these reviews, and then I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just find all these great reviews that I get from my newsletter and give them to ChatGPT and make a review carousel, and then put it right below the fold on my newsletter sign up page. I got to do that.
That is also something I forgot that I just started doing, because I really like doing graphics and tables sometimes, also for the skimmers, and I started using ChatGPT to do the HTML coded tables. And I can't remember the prompt or anything like that. Probably just create a table and it automatically gives HTML code.
That's cool.
But yeah, like I did one for something like a web design SEO, like a blog about that. Like, basically like, hey, web designers, you should also know a little bit about SEO, but if you don't want to, I do white label SEO. That's what the keyword was, white label SEO. And I did like a whole chart of like, here's how much you can charge more, like if you add on SEO and like to your web design prices, but then just have me do it white label without them having to learn anything. So it's like, oh, you'll earn an extra like $500 to $1,000 just by hiring me. So, but I use an HTML code for that. So it's really easy to do. And I'm like, man, I love this. Because before I would go to Canva and try to like make my own. And I'm like, I can't be bothered with doing that.
And the tables are great. Actually, I want to make a quick shout out to my audience. For people who have listened this far in the podcast, if you're subscribed to my newsletter and you find it valuable, please send me a message so I can include that message at the top of my newsletter sign up page in this carousel that I just described.
Yes. I was going to say, like, have, that's something I want to do. I'm in the middle of like redoing my whole website, potentially switching to show it. I'm on Squarespace. I don't love Squarespace, but I don't know if you have thoughts on it, but
actually, so wait, one more thing is also send your LinkedIn, because I want to put that below your review. Squarespace, Squarespace, I've actually seen perform really well with SEO. Like I have a kind of unique method of doing SEO, which is you're targeting purchase intent keywords and you're putting up conversion-based SEO landing pages, literally for people who are ready to buy, who are ready to convert. And these are landing pages, not blogs.
Yeah.
And so anyway, before I made my course in this, before I started, before like I had this podcast, before I was making TikToks, I was doing this for other people. And there was a client that I had who had a Squarespace site. And so I did this on a Squarespace site, and it worked just as well as WordPress. And it was really easy because I've used Squarespace a lot in the past. Squarespace is like playing Super Mario Bros. It's super easy. It's just drag and drop, and it's like the easiest. I like, my mom has a Squarespace. It's like the easiest thing ever. Yeah. It's like,
my thing.
And so anyway, Squarespace I've seen work well for SEO.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think, I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't think the platform necessarily, because I've worked on I've done Shopify, like for clients, Shopify, Squarespace, Wix. I don't love Wix, just the back end of it. I know they like got really big on their SEO, but some of their SEO suggestions don't make any sense. And then they ding you. It's like having Yoast and you're trying to hit the green lights. And it's like, well, it doesn't make sense to do this here. Anyway, the only thing I don't like about Squarespace is I always write my blogs in a Google Doc. Like I have a blog template that I have always used. So I just copy and paste it. And the top of my blog, I have what I call fill in the blank SEO. So basically, here's the title, here's the keyword, here's the URL, blah, blah, blah. And then anyway, I just copy and paste the whole thing. The formatting I have to do on Squarespace compared to like WordPress drives me insane.
Try this. So I have a are you on a Mac?
Yes.
Okay, so I have it's like a top toolbar thing. I guess it's just an app that has like a top toolbar. It's called Flycut. And oh my gosh, it is a game changer, especially for content people, for anything. So what it does is, like, whenever you copy something, it gets copied into your clipboard. Flycut gives you the like most recent 20 things that you copied or 30 things that you copied, and you shift between them with hotkeys. And whenever you paste something, it pastes it without formatting. So from now on, like all the time when I paste stuff, because like if you're copying something from a Google Doc, it might also copy the formatting. Happens all the time. Happens from like every application that you copy the formatting. And so when you paste something through Flycut, it gets pasted without formatting, and within all of these CMSs, it just makes things a lot easier. That is a common thing that I've experienced. Like you have like this, you've customized your theme, and you want things in WordPress to show up a certain way, and you just paste it in normally. You don't remove the formatting, and the formatting gets copied over, and it doesn't look the way that it's supposed to.
Yeah.
But also just being able to toggle between, like, how often do you copy something and then copy something else and then realize that you need to go back and copy that thing again.
Yeah.
Being able to just shift between all of that is such a crazy game changer for productivity. I can't believe I've never shared it on the podcast before. It's called Flycut if you have a Mac. It is so great, and it's free. It is so great. So highly recommend that.
Flycut, Descript, I'm learning all these tools. That's another thing too. I think a lot of people don't like do blogging and content creation is because the lack of tools. Like my dad's been wanting to start a podcast for years. Like he has the microphone and all that stuff, but he's like, I don't know how to edit it or how to extract the audio. And I mean, he's 61. And he just wants to do it. And I'm like, it's all about the tools that make it so much easier for you. Like, that's why, like, I made the template or whatever. So, well, actually that was because sometimes you'll be working on your blog inside your website, and your computer will freeze and the whole thing will be deleted. That's happened to me a few times. So I don't trust it. So having the Google Docs helps.
I use Google Docs to write my SEO content too. My thing is, like, I use so many tools. I feel like I have an over-reliance on tools because, like, one goes down and it interrupts my entire workflow. I don't know if you experience that. Like I've experienced where like sometimes Descript will go down and it will just mess up my entire schedule. Because like, how am I making videos? It's with Descript. Like there's all these like little things. Yeah.
So do you edit in Descript?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I use iMovie, like the
Wow.
The expert that I am.
Please try Descript. Descript
I
is
will.
cheap. It is amazing. I want to ask you. About how you're doing your sales pages targeting transactional keywords. How are you finding the keywords? What are examples of keywords that you're targeting? And then what do these conversion pages look like?
So I always start with like your core pages that you're going to have anyway. So your home page, your about page, and your services page are usually the ones that I target. So a homepage keyword, homepage is just going to be like, like for mine, it's website copywriter. So I want to show up for website copywriter, but then I also want to show up for copywriting services because somebody Googling or ChatGPT searching website copywriter is, they're just wanting to know, is this person the right fit? So SEO is what I say, SEO brings the traffic, but the copy is what makes the sale. So that's when you do a little bit of storytelling, include the keyword, and then obviously your homepage is just like an overview of your entire business. But then your services page, somebody Googling copywriting services is ready to hire a copywriter. They just want to know options, which that gets like, I can't remember. I want to say like between 500 to 800 searches a month. And then that one breaks down the different services that I offer. So I do like copy audits. I do SEO copywriting, the whole page. I do blog writing, and then I do launch copywriting. Well, I looked up launch copywriting, and that gets decent enough traffic to create a separate sales page for that. So I've been ranking for like launch copywriter for a few years, and then I link it back to that page. The launch copywriting itself, so for my services, it's just basically like your standard sales page, like use the keyword, problem, desire, benefits. I don't like to do like this is for you with, just because, I do like to have it in there, just rewritten a different way because it does need to be in there. I don't like to do that just because I feel like people's eyes glaze over because they're so used to seeing it now. And then, obviously a breakdown of the features. And then at the very bottom, I always have an FAQ specifically for that type of service. So I'll look up launch copywriting, go to people also ask, and like copy and paste the questions that are there and put it in my FAQ. So that's
Cool.
Jander.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. I had actually another SEO. His name is David Quaid, and he's always on the show. And he shared something that he does to develop topical authority on his sites.
Mhm.
Is he finds every FAQ question, he has like AI write an answer, and then preferably like you proofread it and make sure like it's in a unique voice and stuff.
Mhm.
But he creates a page for every people also ask question.
Oh,
And,
that's smart.
he creates a
honestly.
separate page, and that builds his topical authority. He just creates a separate. Yeah, but like AI just writes the content. But like you're a copywriter. You have all these tricks for writing. Yeah.
For the FAQ section, like I'll do it for blogs too. Like this is why, talking about like AIO, GEO, whatever.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. Like there's none of that without SEO. But also you should have just been doing it that way anyway. Like my whole thing is like writing it like a TV series, like, oh, what's their next question going to be? That's literally how ChatGPT delivers that information, because it's going to be like their next question or what they're going to want to do next. Like they know, like you should know that as an SEO as well. Like it seems obvious, like, oh, my teeth hurt. Oh, it might be because, or I have a headache, is it my teeth or whatever, like from my topic earlier. And then the next question is, it'll be on people also ask, but like the variations of questions they have for that topic. I will do the FAQs either at the bottom, or I'll use them as or the people also ask. I'll use them as H2s in the blog. I do like the idea of doing it as a separate page though, or a separate post. And then for
that's cool. That's cool too. Doing that for the FAQ on a sales page. That's very interesting.
That's really just because I like to do sales pages where no questions left unanswered. Like, everything, the vibe of the person, because there's a little storytelling in there, the benefits, features. Your FAQs are at the bottom. They have those FAQs because it's already on Google. So it's not really so much for ranking at that point, the FAQ at the bottom. It's more so for, I want them to hire me or buy this thing without having to convince them.
That's so honestly, like, so there's like this debate in SEO about whether or not this thing called like EAT, I don't
Oh,
this
yes.
acronym is important or not, like experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. And
Mhm.
whether like here's the thing. Some people say you need it to rank. Other people say you don't need it to rank. Let's say you don't need it to rank. I'll tell you what, you still need it to get sales. Like
Yeah.
you still need to sound experienced. You still need to sound to be trustworthy, like all this stuff in order to get sales.
See, my whole thing, like I know the whole EEAT thing. I don't teach it like when I teach SEO just because it's like SEO jargon and the people I teach aren't trying to become SEO experts necessarily. But it's also not something I like have a checklist for. I think if you just think from the perspective of the person searching, you'll automatically do that. Just answer it like a
Yes.
normal human being. Like
Yes.
when I do research for blogs, it's like, oh, I don't know what this word means that other people say that are, the blogs that are ranking, they mention this word or this process. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. Neither is the person reading it who's also not an expert in this. I mean, it becomes harder when you're writing your own content or creating your own content and you think the things that come naturally to you don't think to like, for lack of a better word, like dumb it down. But like,
It is a challenge. What is
yeah.
it? It's the curse of knowledge.
Yeah, it's so awful. I need
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. There's a point where like there's learning, I think. I don't know. I feel like I've been in that mindset of like I need to know I think it probably comes from years of me needing to seemingly become an expert in all these topics that I'm not an expert in. So I like overly research. But I think a good way to do it too, what I like to tell people is think of like redundant tips. So like little steps you do that you wouldn't think is such a big deal. I'm trying to think of one. Like I said on Threads one day, I put it jokingly. I was like, I better not catch you putting work with me as your URL for your services page. And people are like, wait, what? Why? And I was like, oh, I thought we all knew this, but maybe not.
Is this a common mistake? Like, do people actually do this?
I feel like people who have not hired an SEO expert for sure do it. I mean, to be fair, like the URL isn't the end all be all. It's like a very tiny SEO signal, but I always just make my keyword the URL, whether it's
I
a
think it's a
blog.
pretty big SEO signal. It's really important.
I
I
think
always
so.
make the keyword the URL as well.
Yeah, yeah. And I thought I don't know if I learned that somewhere along the way, but to me it just seemed like, oh, duh, like of course I'm going to do that. And then you have people who have the entire title of their blog as their URL. I'm like, don't do that. Like it's also an easy way to like, see what keywords your clients or your competitors are ranking for. If they do it the right way, then their URL is short and sweet and you're like, oh, that's the keyword they're targeting for this.
Mm.
So
That is
yeah.
true. Tiffany, this has been a lot of fun.
Yes, yes. It was a good, I feel like we went on so many tangents, but I liked it.
I think it was very productive. Like I got some cool ideas out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some cool to-dos, and I hope the listeners and the viewers did as well. Wait, I want to ask you though, like how many rejections have you gotten?
I only started yesterday.
You only started yesterday. Okay.
But I
Okay.
did get one. All it was I'm trying to speak at one conference per month and I needed one for March. I already have January, February. And she had invited me back in October and I forgot. And so I was like, hey, you still looking for speakers? And she's like, nope, we're booked. And so technically it's a no.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
What's
today,
do you have a trick for oh go on today?
my one today I think is the most fun one. I've been wanting to learn kiteboarding. I'm in Florida, so it's like whatever, kind of year round, like outdoor weather. I've been wanting to learn like kiteboarding, kite surfing, and so I'm gonna email probably after this company that's well known around here, and ask if we can exchange services because they actually have a great blog. Like if you Google anything about kiteboarding, they're gonna pop up. So they're great with their blog SEO. So I'm going to see if I can exchange services where they give me some kiteboarding lessons and I'll do their TikTok SEO to experiment. So we're going to see how that goes.
They're gonna give you kiteboarding lessons. You're gonna do their TikTok SEO,
Yeah.
but you said they're dominating with kiteboarding SEO. I want
They
to have them
are
on the podcast.
yes, actually,
I really like having local business owners who are doing great things with SEO on just like normal people with businesses who learned SEO and who are crushing it. Like, I love those guests on the show because it's just a tangible like example. Here's a business that is doing SEO, that is making money with SEO. Here's what they're doing. You can do it too.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And they're not, I don't think they have a team with an SEO like copywriter or anything. I mean, I don't know. I would think like they do because it's also just like, here's the millions of questions we get asked as a business. Like, when is kiteboarding season? Which thing do I get? Like, literally just what I tell people is take problems and questions people have and just make a post about it. Like, if you don't want to do the keyword research with the tools, just take a question you see everywhere and answer it. That's all SEO is, I feel. But yeah, anyway, that's my hopefully yes for today, but we'll see.
Can you say the name of the blog? I want to see their rankings. Because are you afraid?
No. I don't care. Sorry.
Okay.
But it's elitewatersports.com.
What is? I'm gonna look at their rankings right now. Elite.
ELITE. Yeah. I think this is.
Oh, elite.
Yeah.
Elite water sports.
Mm-hmm. It's like
water
orange.
elite. Mm-hmm. Watersports.com.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool. Let's see. 81 keywords in position 1 through. This is on Moz. 27 domain authority. They rank for things like, and I should look at them on SEMrush after this, but they rank like, oh my gosh, they rank number 1 for kite surfing lessons near me, kiteboarding lessons near me, kiteboarding in Florida. Okay, they know what they're doing. That's cool. I want to get them on the show.
Email them.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
They're gonna be like, where did all this come from? I'll be like, I talked about you on a podcast.
Yeah,
now I got it in the email today.
I'm going to email them. Yeah, I'd love to have them on the show. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Tiffany, where can everybody find you, follow you, learn more from you?
I don't post a lot on Instagram. I'm trying to get back into, I'm experimenting my own TikTok SEO this year. So, at Your Creative Content, anywhere, website, Instagram, Threads, TikTok. I'm most active on Threads. That's how we met. But yeah, just Your Creative Content, wherever your heart takes you content wise.
Thank you again for coming on the pod.
Thank you for having me. It was a great conversation. I enjoyed it.
It was good. Stick around after because your video will have to upload when I hit stop.
Perfect.
And for everybody watching and listening, this is episode 907 of The Edward Show. 907 days in a row doing this podcast. No days missed. Let's go. And this was fun. Thank you again, Tiffany. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.